G'day guys, welcome back to episode 15 in this tutorial series. We're going to work on the Npc sheet. So I've built the Npc sheet and it's at least a first draft and there's quite a lot on it. So let's have a quick look at the Npc sheet to start with. Um, so this is core RPG content from the top, and then I've uh, changed this a fair bit below that. So non-ID name is also from core RPG. Size and reach are from core RPG, and sensors is the new field that works with lighting or dynamic lighting. So dark vision, uh, ultravision or infravision, different types of or true sight, different things like that. So there's a bunch of different keywords that a Ruleset might recognize, and they can be programmed in to work differently with lights, vision, lighting, and line of sight with the new upcoming features. So um, the next sections are all new sections. We've got our skill role, and our skill role has been set up as an attack role rather than a skill role, because I can't see anywhere that NPCs would actually do a skill test. So a skill test is roll 2 dice and roll equal to or under your skill score, whereas the attack role is roll 2 dice and add your skill score. And that's going to be the far and away the most common roll that a NPC makes, so when they're attacking. Okay, our stamina value here just has a value, and then it has some increment and decrement buttons so that you can decrement them all the way down. And you might notice that when the value hits 0, that we get necromancer is defeated output into chat. We've then got our attacks, so they work similar to the attacks in our PC sheet, except we've got an error here. So let's go check that out. Manager roles, line 197, so it's probably on line 196. Let's go and have a peek. Okay, line 196. NPC roles. Well, there's our issue right away. This is going to do... Okay, so the issue is it's not using the NPC roles, it's using manager roles, and line 196 is going to be basically checking for the PC token. So what we're going to have to do in here is do something where we check if the node is a PC node or an NPC node. And if it's a PC node, we'll run this. If it's an NPC node, we'll set it to the GM icon. So we're not going to do that now. I'm going to do that offline, and we'll share that code later. Alright, back to our sheet. We've got our armor, and this is going to have the same issue. So when I roll this, it's going to roll a d6, but as it builds the message up, it wants to get the portrait from the PC. This isn't a PC, so there's no portrait here. Then we've got magic score, so we do a magic roll here. This is a roll equal or under, so this is a successful roll. Another roll will be unsuccessful, a fail with an 8 rolling versus a 6. If the spellcaster casts the Iron Skin spell with a cost of 2, we can see that magic points are decremented to 1. They were 3. Necromancer prepares to cast Iron Skin. Do it again, and Necromancer does not have enough magic points because he only has the 1 point available. Alright, items, mostly they are just there for dragging onto a character sheet looting, but you can double click them and the Necromancer uses rope. Then we've got some treasure, gold 4 and silver 4 and a diamond necklace. Alright, so that's, and then we've also got a notes field which is just formatted text. Alright, you can see here some flavor text, and you can do all your normal formatting on here. You could make this bold and underline, etc. So that's it for the character sheet or the NPC sheet. Let's go and have a look the coding set up for this. So we've got NPC main. Alright, firstly let's start with the window class. We can see here that merge is set to blank, which means it doesn't merge. This is replacing. Okay, the name is NPC main. We've taken that from the window class that's in Core RPG. We've got a script file here, npc main.lua. I've taken that from Core RPG and we've just modified that so that it fits with the parameters that we've got here in this one. So you can see here these fields don't exist in Core RPG. We've added these in, and I've also removed a couple of fields here that aren't applicable to this rule set. All right, size. These are just Core RPG fields, and these basically dictate how big the token will be on the map and how big its aura or reach will show. Sensors we talked about, that is for use with dynamic lighting. Skill, we've got a number field here, and we can see that this field here, we've added a dice roll strong 2d6 plus skill with the squiggly brackets, which means 2d6 plus itself, and then also run the script npc roles.skill roll. Our npc roles are all over here, so we've got a skill roll here. Same thing for stamina, there's no roll to be done, but we've just got a couple of widgets here. We can see an on-click release. So basically each time you click it, it's going to increase stamina by 1, and each time you hit the down one, it's going to decrease stamina by 1. But if stamina is equal to 1, then when you do the next click, we get the message that the NPC has been defeated. Attacks is a window list, just copied and resized from the PC sheet. Armor is the same thing, but what we found here is that we're going to have to add some code in here to handle so that the window list knows if it's being run from a PC sheet or an NPC sheet. Magic, this is a rollable field. It's a magic roll or a skill roll, same thing. 2d6, this one should be 2d6 is a roll equal to or under, and that will be reflected in the script here. So we're doing if you roll a double 1, it's an instant success. If you roll a double 6, it's a guaranteed fail, and otherwise it's roll equal to or under the score. Spells, it's a spell list, and I'm thinking that I might make this full width, make it 2 columns, and move spells, the heading into the middle here, give us slightly more space on the NPC sheet. Same with items. But you'll see on our NPC sheet that spells and items are significantly less wide than weapons and armor. So this will be able to shuffle over 70 pixels or whatever this space is and give us room to have 2 of them side by side. So at the moment we've got 5 rows here. We could probably drop that down to say 3 rows. It'll give us actually give us more entries. It'll give us 6 entries before it scrolls, 3 in each column, plus a heading column, and we'll save 20 odd pixels, and we'll duplicate that with spells and items. It'll just save a little bit more space all round. Of course, and then we've got gold, silver, and treasure, and these are just really, those fields are simply for descriptive purposes. There's no mechanics about them at all. And what we've done we've got something else here as well. I think we'll find, we've got an NPC main. No, this NPC sheet here is actually in the wrong spot. It should actually be in campaign. Let's move that up. I have to recompile that. But this is an XML file, and this is pretty much a copy and paste from the Core RPG one, and then there's a couple of small changes. So we made a couple of changes here for the notes tab or window and the script files. We've just modified those just a little bit. We've also increased the height of the window, set a minimum height and a starting height for these. So just a couple of tweaks. Unfortunately, we have to basically duplicate the files, so we have to monitor that in case Core RPG changes. Now, Core RPG NPC doesn't change that often, but obviously we've got a recent change just being implemented at the moment, which is for that dynamic lighting. So we do get some changes, and we'd have to monitor them as we go. All right, that's it for today's session. Um, we are just about to wrap this up. I don't know if we're going to build the combat tracker um, as part of this tutorial series. We were never going to build a combat tracker, but there is a new update to the Ruleset wizard coming out, which might encourage me to do a really, really basic combat tracker implementation. All right, thanks, guys.